What's up, cool people? Welcome to today's live stream. We've got our usual kind of Bible study and gaming combo stream thing that honestly also doubles as a recording session for me. So we, in the Bible study portion, will be kicking off First Chronicles. You know, we've been going through the Bible start to finish, Genesis to Revelation. And this is where we've gotten to at this point. Because last week we wrapped up Second Kings, and now we've got First Chronicles. And then, of course, in the gaming part of things, we're continuing Kingdom Hearts Stream Drop Distance. Been playing through that series, and getting kind of close to the end of it. So yeah, it does seem like within that, I'm mostly, I've gotten Riku all the way through the one world, basically Tron's world, but they're calling it the grid in this case. I've gotten Riku all the way through that. That was kind of where we left things off last time, and Sora is probably almost done with it. But anyway, so that's kind of what's up, what we've been doing, what we're going to do today. And if there's a little extra time at the end, I might hop over to, I might either just do some extra Dream Drop Distance, or hop over to Birth by Sleep and do some stuff in the Mirage Arena. I am at some point gonna need to start recording a little bit of extra stuff. But maybe I should get done editing everything that I have recorded first, because I still haven't done that. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit to even just kind of stay caught up with what I've done so far. But anyway, okay. That's all we got going on. I will not introduce things any longer. Go ahead and run the early Twitch ads and then get things ready for the Bible study. YouTube folks, I appreciate you hanging around even through the bit of a lengthy transition while the Twitch ads are going on. Maybe not that lengthy. Because, yeah. I'm pretty much ready to go with it now. The only thing is, as I pop out the chat windows and stuff, or the activity feed in the chat window from Twitch, I can't see how much time is left in the ad break. That only shows up in the Twitch stream management page if I run that myself. I think if I just let it run automatically, the Twitch chat window will show how much time is left in that, but not when I do it like this. I don't know. It's... Anyway, that's only going to be an issue through Bible study, which is about to start. Alright. Okay. Seems like it's about time to start the Bible study here. So yeah, starting off First Chronicles, like I said. I don't think there's too much else to say to introduce that. Any kind of recap I would give, I would want in the recording anyway, which I'm about to start doing. And it seems like actually the start of First Chronicles might take us through a bunch of recap anyway. Alrighty. So, here we go. Bible study time. Okay. So, we are starting our study of 1 Chronicles today. And from the look of it, we're going to get a bit of a recap at the start of this. So, I don't know if I need to do too much with that. I will just mention at the end of 2 Kings, which we just finished, it pretty much ended with Jerusalem being taken over by the Babylonians. So the entire promised land that was, once where Abraham lived, and then, of course, people left to Egypt because of a famine, and then after being slaves there for a while, were rescued by God, essentially, and sent off back to the promised land. But they disobeyed God, stopped worshiping and following him, and all sorts of other bad things, and then God allowed them to be taken over, because that was stated within the covenant that they collectively had all agreed upon beforehand, or at least their ancestors had agreed upon beforehand. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to recap much more, because there's plenty of recap going on here, it seems. So we're starting off with like a genealogy of sorts, at least. So here we go. 1 Chronicles, chapter 1. The descendants of Adam were Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. Sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The descendants of Javan were Elisha. Don't know if the extra H at the end there makes a difference in the pronunciation. Anyway, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanim. Okay, so I mean, obviously following from Adam to Noah is quite an obvious reason, because Noah and his family were the only ones to then survive the flood. And then there was going from... Now, it went from Noah's son Japheth specifically. Although, I guess we're about to get into Ham and Shem. So, it's not exactly stated why we're starting off with a genealogy here, although with a name for this book of the Bible, like Chronicles, I mean, okay, we're chronicling the story so far. Note there, in verse 4, as in the Greek version, Hebrew lacks the sons of Noah were. Now, that could potentially get a little confusing then, because it would just list Shem, Ham, and Japheth after Noah, but those three were all in the same generation. Those were all Noah's sons. These were not all Adam's sons here. Like, Seth was Adam's son, but then I think Enosh was Seth's son, Kenan was his, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, maybe that note was added there just for clarification. And then right here, as in some Hebrew manuscripts and Greek version, most Hebrew manuscripts read Diphath instead of Riphath. Okay, it's one letter difference. It might make a difference in, like, the meaning of the name. I'm not aware of that offhand. Anybody who might know that, feel free to put something in a comment or in live chat or whatever. But to most of us, it's just kind of a name. Alright. Moving along. Verse 8. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The descendants of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Cush was also the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth. Mizraim was the ancestor of the Luddites, Anamites, Lehabites, Naphtuhites, Pathrusites, Casluhites, and the Caphtorites, from whom the Philistines came. Canaan's oldest son was Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. So, notice how it's getting into the various sons of Noah, because, like, there wasn't a great flood wiping out most of the people after that point. So, these were then the people who repopulated the earth and their descendants spread throughout. Honestly, this is probably very much focused on the area around the Promised Land and the people groups therein. So, that, I guess, might... maybe it's just wanting to go back and give some broader context for things as far as where all these people came from. And really, in a way, this almost kind of gets to the idea that, like, well, yeah, all these different people groups might have problems with each other, or might have had problems with each other, but they're all ultimately kind of related. And perhaps all these people groups also then got taken over and conquered and scattered by larger kingdoms like, say, Babylon or Assyria or whatever. And maybe at this point, you know, after Second Kings, they're all like sort of mingling together and perhaps realizing a little bit like, hey, these are just other people. They have different beliefs, but like, maybe the hatred for each other was a bit overblown. I don't know. That's me just speculating on things, but I mean, it is interesting how your perceptions of people can change when you actually interact with them on a regular basis. Anyway, we got some notes to cover in this section here. Okay, so that could say Egypt instead of Mizraim. Note there, it says, Hebrew says, Casluhites, from whom the Philistines came. Caphtor. Okay. So, that wording just kind of changes the implication of which people group the Philistines came from. The way it reads in this translation, it's more like they came from the Caphtorites, but that wording, the wording in the note just seems a little odd. But then that also implies that the Philistines came from the Casluhites, not the Caphtorites. See Jeremiah 47:4 and Amos 9:7. I wonder if I should start making notes on what it says to look for in upcoming books of the Bible. I'm not going to do that. Just stuff you could keep in mind for cross-references. Hebrew says the ancestor of Heth rather than Hittites. Okay. I've never heard of any person or people group being called Heth in any previous verses in the Bible, at least as we've been reading through this. So, again, could be a different way of referring to the same people. I don't know. But, anywho. So, oh yeah, and these are all just descendants of Noah. I noticed later we're getting into Abraham's descendants, so we still got quite a ways to go in the genealogy. Let me not dwell on all this stuff too much longer. On to verse 17. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, I don't know if that's the pronunciation, Lud, and Aram. Descendants of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah. Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber had 2 sons. First was named Peleg, which means division, for during his lifetime the people of the world were divided into different language groups. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan was the ancestor of Almodad, Shelef, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were descendants of Joktan. So this is the family line descended from Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Serug, Nahor, Terah, and Abram, later known as Abraham. So, Shem's line specifically was the one that Abraham came from, which is important later on because, well, I mean, we'll get to it, but Abraham eventually was, the ancestor of, Jacob, later known as Israel, of whom the people group and the kingdom and now the country was named after. Anyway, do notes here. As in one Hebrew manuscript and some Greek, most Hebrew manuscripts lack the descendants of Aram were. See, but again, that could make it sound like, well, I mean, if it would, see, the previous thing like that, it was because, well, one thing was a collection of different generations while the other was one generation. I don't know if that's the case this time around. Anyway, this note says, as in parallel text Genesis 10:23, Hebrew reads and Meshech instead of Mash. Okay. But if Genesis had it one way, then why wouldn't you keep it consistent with what Genesis had? But perhaps Meshech was another way that the same people became known in later years. I don't know. And that's another thing too. All these different people and the, kind of cultural groups. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. But the people groups, at least, that they were like the namesakes of, like those people groups might have then became known by other things later on. Anyway, Note there at Obol, as in some Hebrew. In Syriac, most Hebrew manuscripts read Ebol instead of Obol. Right there. It seems like a lot of these notes are actually going to be that kind of thing. Just saying that, hey, here's how we chose to translate this. It could also be read this way. Some Greek manuscripts read Arphaxad, Canaan, Sheila. Kainan? Sheila? Anyway. The only difference there is this lacks Kainan. And yes, I'm pronouncing it that way because, first off, that has an I in it. And second, that could get really confusing with Canaan. That's, you know, all A's for the vowels. Alrighty. Moving along. Verse 28. Sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. These are their genealogical records. The sons of Ishmael were Nebaioth, the oldest, Kedar, Adbeel, almost flipped those consonants there, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael. Sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The descendants of Jokshan were Sheba and Dedan. Sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were descendants of Abraham through his concubine Keturah. And never mind the fact that it didn't get into any of Isaac's descendants. But I guess we're about to follow that line here. So let me just read on then. There aren't any particular notes there anyway. So that was all essentially related to and perhaps even descended from Ishmael. But then we get to verse 34. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. Sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. Descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, Kenaz, and Amalek, who was born to Timnah. The descendants of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. Gonna pause there for a sec because there's a couple of notes to look at. Israel is the name that God gave to Jacob. He was originally named Jacob, but after a wrestling match with God, or at least a representative thereof, he then became known as Israel. And again, he's like sort of the namesake of the people group, the kingdom that inhabited the promised land, which is honestly right where modern day Israel is, perhaps a slightly different geographical boundary to that, but definitely modern day Israel was included in that. So, obviously, that country's name right now is derived from this guy. So, yeah. Then we have a note here. It says Zepho. As in many Hebrew manuscripts and a few Greek, most Hebrew manuscripts read Zephi or Zephi. Not sure of how the pronunciation is supposed to go in a lot of these cases. A, because I don't really know Hebrew, and B, because, like, some languages will have, like, okay, in this context, the vowel will sound like this, but in a different context, it'll sound a different way. So, yeah, anyway. Also, note there, Timnah. as in some Greek manuscripts. Hebrew reads Kenaz, Timnah, and Amalek. So, well, yeah, this says Amalek, who was born to Timnah, which is an odd way, because it's like, okay, if you're going by generations, but then suddenly skip one, but then like, why would you be changing the order of the generations unless Timnah was actually maybe like the same generation as Kenat, or I don't know. I can't recall off the top of my head. It may have mentioned this way back in like Genesis or something, but I honestly can't recall at the moment. Anyway, okay. On to the next section, starting with verse 38. The descendants of Seir were Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The descendants of Lotan were Horai and Hemam. Lotan's sister was named Timnah. Same as that Timnah? Not sure. Anyway, descendants of Shobal were Alvin, Menahath, Ebal, Shipho, and Onam. Descendants of Zibeon were Aya and Anna. Son of Anna was Dishon. Descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Eshben, Ithran, and Karen. Descendants of Ezer were Bilhan, Zavan, and Achan. Descendants of Dishan were Uz and Aran. And good golly, okay, well, we got one more section left. But yeah, literally this entire chapter is apparently just genealogy stuff. And there might be even more after this, who knows? I'm sure somebody does, but anyway, we're not there yet. I'm not trying to get us ahead. Honestly, these are all just a bunch of names. I'm not saying they're insignificant, but like, you're just like, I'm still not sure why it's going through all this genealogy right now. Note there, as in parallel text, Hebrew reads Homam instead of Hemam. As in some Hebrew manuscripts, most Hebrew reads Shephi. So, once again, we have an O exchanged for an I. Most Hebrew manuscripts read Jachin instead of Achan. And Hebrew says Dishon, compare 138, and parallel text at Genesis 36:28. No, wait, 138 was still... Okay. That, yeah. So, like, is this one spelled different in some of the manuscripts than this one? That seems to be what it's implying. But in each little subsection here, it was going through the different descendants of Seir. So it doesn't really make much sense to... I don't know. Anyway. I won't get too caught up in that. Let's move along. Verse 43. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor, who ruled from his city of Dinhabah. When Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah from Bozrah, became king in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites became king in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who destroyed the Midianite army in the land of Moab. When Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Masrekah became king in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Akbor, became king in his place. When Baal-Hanan died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Pau. His wife was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred and granddaughter of Me-Zahab. Then Hadad died. The clan leaders of Edom were Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Aholibama, Elah, Pinon, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These are the clan leaders of Edom. Okay. And why do we care about all this? I mean, Edom was in the line of descendants somewhere in what we were reading previously, I think. Note there says before an Israelite king ruled over them. Yeah, I guess Israel did kind of conquer the Edomites at one point. So yeah, it's just going through a list of the people who ruled Edom before Israel. Now, okay, if you think before any king ruled over the Israelites, that, like, could be understood a little different than before an Israelite king ruled over them being Edom. Then again, I think Edom was part of the initial conquering of the Promised Land before it was really established as any kind of kingdom anyway. Never mind the time of the judges and all that. So, yeah. Anyway. Notes to look at. Where it says Pau, as in many Hebrew manuscripts, some Greek, Syriac, and Latin Vulgate. Most Hebrew manuscripts read Pi instead of Pau. Note there, Alva is an alternate reading of the Masoretic text. The other alternate reads Alaya. I think that's an I in there. Would be weird if... For a second I was like, wait, that doesn't say Allah, does it? No. So, okay. Bunch of genealogy to kick off First Chronicles. I imagine we'll eventually get past that. But, you know, if things are truly being chronicled, as in like a history, I suppose this is a notable part of it, recognizing where it all came from. But that's all I got for First Chronicles chapter 1. Alright. And then we'll hop over to the next chapter. Out of sheer curiosity, how many chapters in total are in Second Chronicles? 36. Okay, so I'd... TV antenna, I almost like preempted your hydrate redemption there, but I'll drink a little more anyway. Also, hi. There you go. Sons of Israel, Judah. And then it gets to David. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be more genealogy. Which, honestly, a lot of times, it seems like genealogies are the Bible's way of kind of recapping, you know, giving the cliff notes of, all right, here's some stuff that got us, here's how we got to this point. And then it continues things after going through all that. That way it doesn't necessarily get into all the little details of everything that happened again, because why else would we even need other, why would we need other writings if it was all just mentioned there? So, I say that to say, like, all this detail was already mentioned before, we don't need to go over it now. But, as a reminder, here's all this other stuff that got us to this point. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking in circles. Let me just get back to recording and continuing the Bible study here. Here we go. Okay, so we're in 1 Chronicles chapter 2 now. The last chapter was a bunch of genealogy, going from Adam to Noah, Noah to Abraham in a few steps, Abraham to Jacob / Israel, and getting a little more into that, and some of the connections there. And it seems like we're continuing the genealogy here. This kind of stuff is why a lot of people skip over parts like this in the Bible. But anyway, okay, let's hop in. 1 Chronicles chapter 2. Sons of Israel were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Judah had 3 sons from Bathshua, a Canaanite woman. Their names were Onan, and Shelah. But the Lord saw that the oldest son, was a wicked man, so he killed him. Later, Judah had twin sons from Tamar, his widowed daughter-in-law. Their names were Perez and Zerah. So Judah had 5 sons in all. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Zerah were Zimri, Ethan, Heman, Calcol, and Darda, 5 in all. The son of Carmi, a descendant of Zimri, was Achan, probably pronounced Achan, really, but anyway, who brought disaster on Israel by taking plunder that had been set apart for the Lord. And the son of Ethan was Azariah. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily trying my absolute best to say these names as I believe they would have been pronounced by, the Israelites, or whoever would have been saying them originally. But, this is a case where I think, as long as you get the general idea, it's close enough. Note there at Israel mentions that that's the name God gave to Jacob, so he was born with the name Jacob. But as I mentioned last chapter, wrestled with God, and then became known as Israel, which I think literally means something like to wrestle with God, or one who wrestles with God. So it mentions his sons, which, of course, are the namesakes of the tribes of Israel. Starting off with Judah, who is not the oldest, I think. Anyway, so it gets into some of Judah's line. Note there at Darda, as in many Hebrew, Greek, and Syriac version. Hebrew reads Dara. I guess some other Hebrew manuscripts read Dara instead of Darda. And this one, Hebrew says a car rather than a can. Compared Joshua 7:1, Akar means disaster, which would make sense, being the one who brought disaster on Israel, but yeah. A lot of these names were very literal, and possibly not even like the names that people were born with. Such as in the case of Israel. He was born with the name Jacob. So it could be, especially when something notable happened involving a particular person, that they became known by a different name later. And that is just what they are then known by, because it basically becomes a shortcut to knowing, oh yeah, that person did this thing. Note there, the Hebrew term used here refers to complete consecration of things or people to the Lord, either by destroying them or by giving them as an offering. That describing the set apart for the Lord segment there. But Achan took a bunch of that. Okay, moving on. Oh, so now we're working our way to David here. Starting with verse 9. Sons of Hezron were Jerahmeel, Ram, and Caleb. Ram was the father of Aminadab. Aminadab was the father of Nahshon, a leader of Judah. Nahshon was the father of Salmon, Salmon the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse's first son was Eliab. His second was Abinadab. His third was Shimeah. His fourth was Nethanel. His fifth was Radai. His sixth was Ozem. And his seventh was David. Their sisters were named Zeruiah and Abigail. Zeruiah had 3 sons named Abishai, Joab, and Asahel. Abigail married a man named Jether, an Ishmaelite, and they had a son named Amasa. Okay, so David was the youngest of Jesse's 7 sons. But I guess we're interested in the line of David here because of, well, us Christians are interested in the line of David because that's also, like, you know, as you go on from David, that's really kind of the line that then leads to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Or, well, or maybe it leads to Joseph, his earthly father. One of the two, for sure. Or both, maybe, in a way. But I guess we're not going to read too much into Jacob's other sons at the moment. But still, note there at Caleb, Hebrews says Kelubai. Sorry. The I's and the L's can be just a little bit difficult to differentiate here. But it says that's a variant spelling of Caleb. Almost makes me think could be almost a phonetic spelling, or I don't know. Anyway, note there, Salmon is in Greek version. Hebrew reads Salma. Still pretty similar. No other notes in that section. Also, the name Jether's kind of ringing a bell from when it was going through the genealogy descended from Ishmael in the previous chapter. And also, Amasa, wasn't that a guy who wound up being sort of like a commander for David or something to that effect? Maybe? That could be a reason for noting all that. Just saying. I don't recall with 100% certainty, though. So, I'm going to keep moving on to verse 18. Hezron's son Caleb had sons from his wife Azubah and from Jerioth. Her sons were named Jesher, Shobab, and Ardon. After Azubah died, Caleb married Ephrathah, and they had a son named Hur. Hur was the father of Uri. Uri was the father of Bezalel. When Hezron was 60 years old, he married Gilead's sister, the daughter of Machir. They had a son named Segub. Segub was the father of Jair, who ruled 23 towns in the land of Gilead. But Gesher and Aram captured the towns of Jair and also took Kenath and its 60 surrounding villages. All these were descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. Soon after Hezron died in the town of Caleb Ephrathah, his wife Abijah gave birth to a son named Asher, father of Tekoa. Okay. That name right there sounds kind of familiar. Might have been mentioned as the mother of one of the kings. Perhaps specifically a king over the split kingdom of Israel. But that's just me trying to go off the top of my head and what I think I remember. I might be wrong on that. Okay. Nothing too much really stands out about a bunch of this genealogy as like, oh, hey, yeah, here's a noteworthy connection or something significant that happened, or a person who was significant because they were connected with this thing. Some of these people might have been, and I just don't recall. But really, I'm taking a lot of this genealogy as a summary of, all right, here's what's happened so far. And maybe here's also some of the background for other people and, other things that could give context for what's going to happen when we then advance the chronology. But anyway, note there at Jerioth, where Caleb had a daughter named Jerioth from his wife, Azubah. Okay. Meaning the Hebrew is uncertain. See, okay, that would make Jerioth not someone who was not a woman who gave birth to descendants of Caleb, but rather a daughter of his. Whereas the way it's worded outside the note there makes it sound like Jerioth was another woman through whom Caleb had children. And that also makes the her here confusing. Is that referring to Jerioth or Azubah? The note there, if that's how it's meant to be understood, would make that a little clearer. But now it does go back to mentioning Azubah again here. So I think it's safer to assume that these sons here, starting, like in this section, were sons of Azubah. But after she died, he married, Hebrew says Ephrath, not Ephrathah. Variant spelling. Okay. Note down here. Note down here in verse 23. Or captured Havoth Jair rather than the towns of. Havoth could be a way of saying the towns of in Hebrew, for all I know. So I'm just going to say Okay, same thing. Father of Tekoa, note there says, or the founder of, rather than father of. But those were often one and the same. But you say father of Tekoa, that would be like, okay, he's the actual, like, ancestor. Rather than founder could just be, alright, he started this. I don't even know if Tekoa was supposed to be more of like a kingdom, a place, a people group, or what, I don't know, but saying the founder of could just more so be like, alright, here's the guy who started it, and or is the namesake of it. Well, no, it wouldn't be the namesake of Tekoa. Anyway. Father or founder, either way. Had a major starting role in whatever Tekoa was. Alright. Moving along, verse 25. Sons of Jerahmeel, the oldest son of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Ozem, and Ahijah. Jerahmeel had a second wife named Atara. She was the mother of Onam. Sons of Ram, the oldest son of Jerahmeel, were Maaz, Jamin, and Eker. Sons of Onam were Shemai and Jada. Sons of Shemai were Nadab and Abishur. Sons of Abishur and his wife Abihail were Aban and Molid. Sons of Nadab were Seled and Aphaim. Seled died without children, but Aphaim had a son named Ishi. Son of Ishi was Sheshan. Sheshan had a descendant named Alai. Sons of Jada, Shemai's brother, were Jether and Jonathan. Jether died without children, but Jonathan had two sons named Peleth and Zaza. These were all descendants of Jerahmeel. Sheshan had no sons, though he did have daughters. He also had an Egyptian servant named Jarha. Sheshan gave one of his daughters to be the wife of Jarha, and they had a son named Attai. Attai was the father of Nathan, Nathan the father of Zabad, Zabad the father of Ephlal, Ephlal the father of Obed, Obed was the father of Jehu, Jehu was the father of Azariah, Azariah the father of Helez, Helez the father of Eliasah, Eliasah the father of Sismai, Sismai was the father of Shallum, Shallum was the father of Jechamiah, Jechamiah was the father of Elishama. Okay. And I'm kind of wondering, like, where are we going with this? Or was Hezron just a bigger deal than I thought in all this? Kind of like, okay, yeah, it mentioned all the descendants of Ishmael because he was a significant descent. I mean, he was one of the sons of Abraham, who was a big deal to the Jewish people. I'm not sure about Hezron's status like that, if he was on a particular level of noteworthiness. I don't even know if that's a real word, but that's how I'm gonna say it. So, and that's just, those are all just descendants of his one son. See, okay, so it mentioned Hezron here. Hezron was, I guess... Okay, Hezron was Judah's grandson. So, it covered the line of David, but now it's also covering other branches of Hezron's line. Okay, so I guess the connection to David is kind of important to note. And I do wonder if any of these people wound up being kings of Israel or Judah at different points. I mean, the names sound familiar, but, like, there's repetition of names throughout various parts of the Bible. Especially when you only go by one name and not, you know, having first and last, or even middle, like most people have today. Anyway, okay. There's still quite a bit to go. I'm going to move along to verse 42. I almost said 24. The descendants of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, included Mesha, the firstborn, who became the father of Ziph. Caleb's descendants also included the sons of Marishah, father of Hebron. Okay, that's kind of a noteworthy thing, I guess. Although note there says, or who founded Hebron, meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain. Anyway, the sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapua, Rechem, and Shema. Shema was the father of Raham. Raham was the father of Jorkiam. Rechem was the father of Shammai. Son of Shammai was Maon. Maon was the father of Beth Zur. Caleb's concubine Ephah gave birth to Haran, Moza, and Gazez. Haran was the father of Gazez. Let's keep that pronunciation consistent at least. Sons of Jadai were Regem, Jotham, Geshen, Pelet, Ephah, and Sheaf. Another of Caleb's concubines, Maacah, gave birth to Sheber and Terhana. She also gave birth to Sheaf, father of Madmanah, and Shiva, the father of Machbenah and Gibeah. Caleb also had a daughter named Aksa. These were all the descendants of Caleb. Okay. Covered the note there at Hebron. And see, sometimes the phrase the father of is used not quite literally to mean, like, you know, the biological ancestor of, but, you know, like, sometimes we'll refer to a person who kind of, like, kickstarted a certain thing as the father of such and such. Like, the father of modern medicine. Or, you know, father of... insert similar thing here. So anyway. Okay, went through all of Caleb's descendants now. And now we're getting to Caleb's son. And I don't like when it breaks up a verse like this. Oh well. Continuing part way through verse 50, technically. The sons of Hur, the oldest son of Caleb's wife Ephrathah, were Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, Salma, the founder of Bethlehem, and Hareph, the founder of Beth Gader. Descendants of Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, were Haroeh, half the Menahathites, and the families of Kiriath Jearim, the Ithrites, Puthites, Shumathites, and Mishraites, from whom came the people of Zorah and Eshtaol. The descendants of Selma were the people of Bethlehem, the Netophathites, Atroth Beth Joab, the other half of the Menahathites, and the Zorites, and the families of scribes living at Jabez, the Tirathites, Shimeathites, and Sukathites. All these were Kenites who descended from Hamath, the father of the family of Rechab. Okay. Note there at the end, or the founder of Beth Rechab. Okay, see, now, Kiriath Jearim and Bethlehem. Bethlehem's a big deal. You know, being where Jesus is eventually born. But even Kiriath Jearim, I remember hearing a number of times throughout, I want to say, somewhere in the Judges to Kings range of things. But these were probably at least notable places. And it's mentioning the people who, I guess, founded those places. So yeah. Again, another chapter of genealogy. There's not really a whole lot of, like, theological detail that I can dig into with all that when that's the case. At least the verses go quicker. Otherwise, oh man, if some of these verses were the length of other ones that we were getting in, shoot, even just in 1st and 2nd Kings, some of those were some kind of long verses. But anyway, I digress. Okay. That's all we got for 1 Chronicles chapter 2. And see, okay, then it starts getting into the descendants of David. Okay, then it ends with Jehoiachin's descendants. He was the one who was taken prisoner by Babylon, but then kind of got released and was treated nicely for a while. Jeez, and then we're getting into other descendants of Judah. And, man, so much genealogy here. Anyway, okay, well, now you have an idea of what we're getting into. But, yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that too much more, especially with Twitch ads coming up fairly soon. Whether I start them or not, I would rather kind of do that myself. And then maybe give myself a little bit more recording time for Kingdom Hearts stuff. Uninterrupted. Okay. So, yeah. Gonna go ahead and run those. Twitch folks, I'll see you on the flip side of the ads. YouTube peeps, we get to hang out for just a little bit while I change things over. Okay, background music can go away. Quick need to change the category on Twitch. I can't really do that as conveniently on YouTube. And it's like it just wants to count the whole stream as the same category in some cases. Actually, possibly even most of the time. Anyway. All that to say, I typically, when I'm starting a stream on YouTube, even if it's a combination of multiple things like this, I tend to go for what I think will be the longest portion of the stream, which in this case is going to be Kingdom Hearts. And, in fact, most of the time ends up being whatever game that I'm playing. Alrighty. Twitch ads are done. You know what? I think this will be the screen that I go with for starting the recording. Oh. Before I get too far in that, though, assuming the multi-chat is working, at least to show YouTube stuff, I will... Anyway, I wanted to try and move YouTube chat-related things over closer to where I'm going to be looking, so I'm less likely to miss it. Okay, here we go. Alright, we're back with more Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. I'm a little curious about Flick Rush now, because I haven't done it at all. And I have 3 pets in the party, 3 spirits, sorry, in the party that I can go between. That was a requirement for Flick Rush. And if it takes some time off of Riku's drop, then that'll be my way of helping even out Sora and Riku, or maybe even get Riku ahead of... Oh, hey, here we go. Or maybe getting Sora ahead of Riku, is what I was going to say. Why not start by selecting tutorials and brushing up on the simple rules? When you're done, select a tournament in which to participate. Perform well in tournaments and collect medals to increase your rush level. As your rush level increases, new tournaments will become unlocked. Okay. Tutorials. Flick Rush Basics. Oh. This looks like a card game kind of thing, yeah. In Flick Rush, you select cards with A to have your spirits attack, or X to have them defend. To win, you must use the card moves to reduce the HP of all your opponent's spirits to 0. Select a card and press A to attack your opponent's spirit. Now, what I don't know is if the numbers on the cards matter much. I'll just select the first one here and see what happens. Using cards depletes the action gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, you won't be able to use cards for a short time. Select a card and press X, and a barrier will appear to protect your spirit from harm. Defending like this will not deplete the action gauge. Select a card and press X to block your opponent's attack. If the card you defend with has a higher value than your opponent's, your card will evolve. Oh, okay, so you probably want to defend with high value cards. But I guess attacking with high value cards also means they're more likely to get through. Okay, basics complete. Next tutorial. When you use a card, its value will appear above your spirit. When the attack hits, you will break your opponent's move if your card has the higher value. The highest value is Star. These cards will break any move your opponent tries, no matter what the card value. Break your opponent's move with a higher value card. If you use 2 cards in quick succession, their values will be added together. Break your opponent's move by using 2 cards in quick succession. Okay, there still has to be a slight delay in there, I guess. You can select cards in quick succession. This will let you defend with a higher value. Defend against your opponent's move by quickly selecting cards. Oh, I gotta wait. Okay. Or, okay. Maybe I should just use the entire gauge all at once. Maybe that's what it wants me to do. Oh. Okay, you can defend like that as well. Gotcha. Duel is triggered when you and your opponent both play equal values. You will be dealt a hand of symbol cards. Select cards and press A to match 3 of the same symbol. Okay. Discard the ones you don't need by selecting them and pressing X. First player to match 3 symbols wins the duel and deals major damage to their opponent's spirit. Try to win a duel by lining up 3 matching cards. Oh, shoot. There. Okay. Tutorial 2, card values and card breaks, complete. Almost has shades of Chain of Memories in there. Next tutorial. So, I'm probably not going to show too much more of Flick Rush after I do this initial thing, but I feel like in most of my playthroughs I want to at least show each of the mini-game things, just so those watching can have an idea that it's part of the game that they may or may not want to do. You can reload cards or tag spirits into battle. Number underneath the cards shows how many cards each spirit has left. To reload a spirit's cards, hold down Y. Okay. You can tag another spirit into battle by pressing left bumper and selecting a spirit with B, A, Y, or X. Tag a different spirit into battle by selecting its icon. Okay. Cards reload slowly but automatically for spirits that are on the sidelines. Okay, yeah, I was hoping that was a thing. One strategy is to rotate spirits out of battle as their cards run low. Okay, that tutorial's complete. And I guess that's all there is to know. So, tournament time. Training Cup. Sure, let's give it a whirl here. Do I even... No. I think the other ones are all assigned to Sora. So I'm just gonna go with this team. Kinda am just winging it with all this. Oh, duel. Oh, jeez. Okay. I guess I lost that. That goes pretty quick, apparently. It's kind of nice that it seems to just, like, rotate my team around, so I don't have to think too hard about, you know, what I'm doing when I'm trying to select a new party member. I am really not defending much here. Okay, I guess if you combine two, it tends to go with the move from the first one. Okay. I won the training cup. Match time. Successful attacks 90%. No successful blocks. Remaining HP 81%. I got a star rank. Is that the best rank? Or is that 1 star out of multiple? Obtain medals 90. 90 medals, eh? You took the gold prize. Rush level increased to 2. Unlocked Flick Rush Beginner's Cup. Okay. I definitely think that's all I'm going to do for now. But eventually the medals can be traded in with this Moogle here, I think. Nope, those are just regular... That's just regular money. The medals get traded in with this Moogle, yeah. So you can get some more moves and recipes and stuff like that. The recipes in particular might be good to have for later. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna go back to the world map. So I guess we're moving on to Prankster's Paradise, which is another extension, I guess, of Pinocchio's world. Alrighty, here we go. How the... Really? Oh, I missed that. Okay, so don't bother trying to, like, rush through any of that. Oh, definitely want that. Might want to try a little harder not to lose any HP now. Ring open. Oops. Okay. Now. Okay, I really gotta be careful now. Okay. Dive is done. And I get a B rank. Okay. Yeah, it's even the same music. And this looks like the inside of Monstro.
Pinocchio! Son! Where have you run off to?
Isn't that Geppetto? Then this must be...
Reality shift bubble burst. You can ride trapped enemies and use them against other foes. Pressing A to burst the bubble... press A to burst the bubble and damage surrounding foes. Press B to burst the bubble and perform a super jump. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So they're both basically ready to... Okay. Anyway. I'm just trying to line up my spirits to do a link thing. Yeah, I assume it's only gonna go like that. No, not what I wanted. Dang it. Alright, well, at least I can save here. Not go to the world map.
What's the matter?
Huh? Goodness, who are you?
Riku.
Oh, Riku, you poor lad. Seems you were swallowed up by Monstro just like the rest of us. My name is Geppetto, and I'm looking for my son Pinocchio.
Pinocchio's gone missing?
I'm afraid so. After all
guess
my searching, I found him
Riku
here
wouldn't
in the way,
necessarily have...
But then he ran off again to who knows where.
That sounds kind of familiar. Mr. Geppetto, let me go look for your son.
You would do that? Thank
I
you.
guess Riku didn't have too many interactions with Geppetto.
Yeah, leave it to me.
Did you say you were really going to help us find Pinocchio?
Jiminy?
Huh? That's right. Name's Jiminy. Jiminy Cricket. But, shucks, have we met?
No, you know, never mind.
If you say so. Anyway, Pinocchio comes first.
Right. Any idea where he went?
Well...
So does
I'm
he
almost
only
certain
know
he
of
wandered off
them
with a stranger.
because of connections with Sora?
Can you describe
or...
him?
I remember he was dressed in a black coat.
A black coat? He's back again. Thanks.
Well, I'm going with you. Pinocchio's gonna need his conscience, and that's where I come in.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to get up here and grab this treasure. Oh, and I can use that to do some slow motion, get back over here. Oh, now there are enemies. Oh, jeez. Okay, come on. Let me up on the ramp thing. Oh yeah, dude, who needs enemies for a high jump when you got flow motion? There we go. Okay. So yeah, I feel like I'll be using the bubbles mostly to attack, rather than try to do any jumps with it. Because flow motion. I can just use the flow motion for extra jumping. I mean, unless I wind up smack dab in the middle of a room, needing to get up higher. Saving again real quick. Enemies. Ow. I forgot about the strategy with these guys. Just tossing them around like crazy. Ow. Oh, Rising Wing. Kind of forgot that was a thing. Can I? I would like to do the portal, but I'm floating around too much to actually select it. Okay, cool. I took damage no times. Alrighty, got a rampant fancy and confetti candy. Alrighty. Moving along. Yep, this is Monstro, alright. Now. But, like, not really that bad. Ow. You, stop that. Okay. And Riku's drop has ended, which means we're switching back to Sora. Which means I'm back to... Oh, what is this? Block head-on attacks with X to slow down the drop gauge. Heck yeah, I'll take that. but it's going to throw me immediately back into this battle.
Let's go.
You know, one of these times I should look into the combination that doesn't involve the, it doesn't involve Garfield. I don't like this view, because it, like, also changes my perspective and my movements. Jeez, already? Really? Great. I really don't like needing to heal from this perspective. Okay. Oh man, this is not fun. I'm just gonna keep going for blocks and counters while it's like this. Which might be the best way to go about this battle anyway. Okay, almost done. Okay, there we go. I win. New drop bonuses unlocked. Ooh. That could be interesting. Showed Sora's outfit from being in Tron's world before for a moment there. Is he good now? Well, he protected Sora at least.
Oh, Tron!
Just missed him.
I'll deal with you later. I have to retrieve Rinsler.
Maybe Sora's not that close to the end of the grid.
He reached for my hand. Tron is still in there.
You and that key have a special power. so do you. Power to make me see it.
So, does that mean we're friends?
Of course.
Man,
What if my memories
either all
aren't
these
my
major
own?
characters in the grid are really tall,
No.
or
I gotta be like Tron.
Sora and Riku are a lot shorter
Maybe
than I
we're
thought they
walking the
were.
wrong path, but our hearts will lead us back to the truth.
Dual disc, yeah.
Where are they? I've turned this castle upside down. Hey, are the other two still out cold?
Dylan and Evan are conscious again, but still unstable. They're resting inside.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I'll give the castle grounds a sweep.
Don't. If they were back, we would have found them by now.
So do you think they were blasted off to some other world or what?
Why is
highly
Lee
doubt it.
still wearing that?
When someone who's lost their heart is recompleted, they should return to the place where it happened. And if that world is unavailable for whatever reason, a refuge is made for them in the realm between, a world called Traverse Town. They would be sent there. Or perhaps...
No, look. Okay. The fact is, we're here. We've been recompleted, right? So they should be here too. Plain and simple.
I agree, it is strange.
What a drag. Could they not have been recompleted at all?
Well, you see...
Forget it. You know what? I'll bring him back myself.
Huh? How, exactly?
Why do I always get stuck with the icky jobs?
Okay. The grid is now complete. Fully. I mean, well, the story of it is. Alright, I'm gonna save real quick. Okay. I will not be playing Flick Rush as Sora at the moment. Dive time. Pop 150 balloons. Interesting. So I don't necessarily have to, like, attack the balloons. I just have to bump into them. Pressing A here just makes me go faster. Which I imagine you might want to do because of time limit. Nope. Really probably don't want to slow down like that. Maybe when there's a lot of them, I don't want to speed through entirely, because then I can have a couple of seconds to move around a little more and pop some other balloons I might have missed. Yeah, maybe some of those sections I shouldn't have been, like, diving faster there. Depth diver. Completed dive without taking damage. Well, there was no way to take damage there, as far as I could tell.
Wow!
Oh. So Sora is not starting off inside Monstro.
That Pinocchio. He must have his poor father worried sick. Still, that little fella's some miracle. Imagine, Mr. Geppetto's wooden puppet brought to life by the Blue Fairy. She made his wish for a son come true because he's given so much happiness to others. Now Pinocchio needs me to guide him and be his conscience. So maybe, one day, he can be a real... Well, now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Jiminy. First, you gotta go find Pinocchio.
Huh? Hey, Jiminy, what's up?
Who are you? You shouldn't be here, young man.
What? Are you okay, Jiminy?
Huh? You mean you've heard of me? Well, I'll be. The name Jiminy Cricket's already spread far and wide.
Really? You feeling all right?
Yeah.
It's me, Sora.
Sora, you say? Gosh. I
So
don't
this
think I
must be
recognize
a
you,
different
but the name
Jiminy
does have a
Cricket? Like, I
peculiar
guess if it's like a dream world, there's some differences or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. Oh, hello. Flashback. When worlds dream. Okay.
In the sleeping worlds, real time does not flow. Unless one restores the world by waking it from its slumber, it will stay locked in a dream forever. Thus, you may encounter familiar faces, but they are just figments of
Okay, well that
dream.
explains it.
In actuality, they are sound asleep, trapped within a world that is also sleeping. What's more, whilst someone may no longer dwell in the real version of a world, dreams may paint a fuller picture and restore what seems to be missing.
The real Jiminy Cricket wasn't trapped in this world, so maybe it's like the dream world's putting him back where he belongs.
What's that? I can't hear you.
Right. It's very nice to meet you, Jiminy.
Well, sure. The feeling's mutual, Sora.
Oh, yeah. So, how come you said I need to get out of here?
You can't fool me. You still think we know each other. And you've just about got me thinking it, too. But where was I? Oh, yes. This is a terrible place. Boys here are allowed to wreck things and loaf around and make jackamules of themselves. And poor lost Pinocchio. He wandered in here on my watch. That's right. That's where I must have heard your name, Sora. From my friend Pinocchio.
He knows me? But how?
Okay. But if this is like a
Shame on
dream
you,
version of them
Pinocchio.
and not the
Playing
real,
hooky
then
and goofing off in a place like this?
I'm sorry, Jiminy. I was going to school till I met somebody. Yeah, two big monsters with big green eyes. Hmm?
Oh, you don't say. And then what happened?
They tied me in a big sack. Oh,
Sounds like you were horsing around.
but I snuck off when they weren't looking. My nose! What's happened?
There. You see where those tall tales will get you?
But it's all true. Even the fella in the black clothes who said to play a trick on Sora.
What? Now who was he? I've had just about enough of your fibbing. Hold on. I guess that part was true. Tell me, Pinocchio, did that man in black say anything else to you?
He sure didn't.
Well, good.
Hey, look at that.
That star again. The Blue Fairy.
Why, Pinocchio, what has happened to your nose?
Oh,
Perhaps you haven't been telling the truth, Pinocchio. Sir Jiminy?
Well, you see, Your Honor, Miss Fairy.
Oh, please help me. I'm awful sorry.
You see, Pinocchio, a lie keeps growing and growing until it's as plain as the nose on your face.
I'll never lie again. Honest, I won't.
I'll forgive you this once. But remember, a boy who won't be good might just as well be made of wood.
We'll be good, won't we?
Very well. But this is the last time I can help you.
So,
That guy again.
like, the entire story of
Forget
Pinocchio
him.
really
If I
is
don't
just
find Pinocchio, he'll turn into a donkey like the rest of
based
the boys.
off of
Right. Then
a
let me help
particular
you find him, Jiminy.
Really?
moral
I'd be
value.
grateful. But how in the world do you know Pinocchio?
Oh, hey, over there, I see him.
Gosh, that is Pinocchio.
All aboard, Jiminy.
Take it away.
Okay, saving again. Actually, I should first off look at Sora's not abilities, command deck, and edit this to have a wake-up block. I mean, slowing the drop-down gauge. Why the heck would I not want to do that? Okay, nothing else I could use in the action commands there. Any new ones of these that Whoa, okay, so we got Poison, Time Bomb, Spark. Summon a ring of revolving light crystals that deal damage to enemies. Huh. I'll give that a whirl. Nothing new out of these, though, eh? Time Bomb. Turn nearby foes into ticking time bombs. When they go off, they will damage surrounding enemies. Could they also damage me that way? I definitely don't want that. I like having Drain Dive, so I don't want to get rid of that. I don't know. I'm curious about the Time Bomb magic spell thing. Alright, I could look more into some of that when I'm in between recordings. Boing. Oh, hello. It's kind of like I'm riding a coaster here. Nope. That's not what I meant to do at all. Good thing flow motion pretty much endlessly lets me climb. Okay, I thought there was going to be something there, and there wasn't. In that case, let's glide around a bit more. Pinocchio, hey!
Pinocchio! There you are.
Pinocchio,
His clothes are different
it's not
colors.
safe for you here. Listen to Jiminy and go back to it.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's not Pinocchio. Okay.
Only one way to solve this problem.
Oh shoot, I should have changed keyblades. Well, I don't know if should have is quite the right way to word that. Okay, really?
Oh, right. Hey. Yeah. Fine. Ha.
Good grief. Being frozen is so annoying.
Back off! Here! Yeah, take this! Ha-ha! Oh. Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Light!
I was trying to do a reality shift there, but kind of didn't work.
Yeah! 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 Ha! Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Fine! Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, geez. Now we got these guys.
Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Come on!
That might actually make it a little easier. I don't know.
Yeah! Ha! Come on!
Because I can throw them around and
Ha! Yeah!
damage some of the others in the meantime.
Yeah! Oh. Come on! Yeah! Come on! Oh. Ha! Come on!
Okay. Max HP increase, also strength and magic increased. Nice. Just a Baki recipe? Jeez. I guess maybe that's one of the enemies I was just fighting.
Those Dream Eaters were pretending to be Pinocchio. So, then where's the real Pinocchio?
Sora! Up there! Look at the top of that tower!
You're right. Come
That's
on,
another
Jiminy.
fake. I can tell because of the clothing. Anyway, items. Keyblades. Yeah, so I'm basically swapping strength for magic. Or reducing magic in order to gain strength. That was probably not the direction I was supposed to go on this. Whatever. I think I might have actually seen a treasure on that tower and completely missed it. Oh well. I mean, worst case scenario, I can ultimately head back some other time.
Gee, Pinocchio, how'd you manage to get up here?
Come on, let's go home. Ah!
Another imposter.
There! See him walking?
Well, sure, if that's really him.
Don't give up, Jiminy. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Real quick while I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah, definitely treasure.
Yes.
Thwack. Obtained Blizzara. Not just Blizzard anymore. Of course, that would require me actually equipping.
Take this. Yeah. 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 Ha-ha. Ha-ha. Hey. Ha. Wait. Fine. Back off.
Okay. Now where exactly was Pinocchio walking? I don't know. I'll get there eventually. Meanwhile, treasure!
Take this. Okay.
That's not the one I want to attack right now.
Ha. Oh. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. Back off.
Really? Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all.
Come on. Light.
Boing. What is this? Battle portal. Achieve victory without using Y commands. Oh, jeez. Hang on. Let me go ahead and heal first. Just to give myself the best chance of not needing those.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. Ha.
Oh, really? That counts as lame. I feel like that's only because it essentially forces me to use a Y command to do the reality shift. Even though that's not what I want to do when doing a reality shift. Since I've already failed the challenge. Like a bonus challenge, really. I figure I might as well just keep going. End it a little quicker. Okay, so seriously, what? Is this? I think this is where he was going. Pleasure Circus. Nope, treasure. Yes, please. And another portal. Oh, but this one's a friendship portal. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, gee. That's a heck of a move. Especially with how long it lasts. Good golly. Lucky dice.
Let's go. There.
So what did that even do?
Ha, ha. Yeah. There. Fine. Back off. Here. Ha. Right. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Ha.
Okay. Jeez.
Light. Yeah. Ha. There.
Why must you do annoying things like that?
Fine. Oh. Yeah. 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 Ha. Come on. Ha.
Okay.
Come on. Here.
Ow.
Yeah. Yeah. Ha. 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 Yeah.
Oh. Is that seriously an enemy making itself look like an HP orb?
Ha. Ha. Come on.
Okay. I'm guessing I need to do something with this to go anywhere else here? Well, maybe not. I don't know. Nope. Really? Okay, so now I'm up here. Nope. Dang it. Yeah, it's honestly a little broken how easily you can just go up really high while in flow motion. No! Oh well. No big deal. Obtained aerial slam. Okay, now where am I actually supposed to go here? Really? Okay, getting to that could be kind of tricky. Never mind. That wasn't so bad. Where am I supposed to go from here? Can't go out the top of the tent. Or do I just go through here? Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. More enemies, yeah.
Back off. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Ha. Yeah.
Yachty shift.
Come on. Yeah. Ha. Hey. Yeah.
Any other enemies? No? Good. Okay.
Heal.
Honestly, I'm kind of thinking I might just finish out this drop, and then... That'll probably be the end of the episode. Or, I'll end it right here, because there's a save point. Okay. So, we've got both Sora and Riku in Pinocchio's world, Prankster's Paradise. I might have actually gotten Sora slightly ahead of Riku at this point. But we'll see as I continue. Okay. That bit of recording's done. I'm going to go ahead and run ads. On Twitch anyway. Take a quick break myself. So, everyone else out there, or just everybody in general, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. And I will continue with more Kingdom Hearts. And more recording. Here we go. Okay. Continuing as Sora in Prankster's Paradise. Tracking down Pinocchio through this, like, circus tent kind of thing.
Pinocchio!
Jiminy! Help me, Jiminy!
Oh, my stars above! We've got to do something!
Okay, I got it covered.
Oh, Pinocchio, look at you!
I think for now, you two better get out of here.
Me, I'm gonna fight some Dream Eaters. You can knock bouncing foes away. Oh, jeez.
Come on! Yeah! Yeah! Take this! Yeah! There! Oh, come on!
Now.
Back off! Oh, yeah. Here! Yeah.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So if I jump, then it makes them... Okay.
Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! 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 Hey! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah!
Whoa.
Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Ha! Ha! Come on! Ha! Ha!
Any other enemies around here? Yep.
Hey! Ha! Come on! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Ow.
Here! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Ha-ha!
And Sora's drop is done. And we move on to Riku. Oh, geez. Okay. Drop decelerator. Makes it easier to boost affinity with spirits. I haven't been using the spirits that much. I don't think that's a really big deal. Defense gain. And probably attack gain. And then a high potion, just cuz. You know what? Forget the high potion. No, I'd rather have the high potion than an affinity gain. So, yeah, let's go with that. And now we're back to Riku, who is inside Monstro. I'm like, let me do the reality shift, please. Pop. Now. Not exactly being very cooperative with the whole... Really? With trying to toss the big guys around. You know what I forgot to do with Sora? I didn't look at, like, spirit ability gaining things. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that right now. But, like, I meant, ability links. That's what I meant. Okay, well, whatever. I'd appreciate a reminder between recordings to do that. One thing I did want to look into giving Riku, though, is the wake-up block. Yeah. Oh, really? It was a fake chest? Friendship portal. Sure, why not? More treasure. Oh, yeah, this looks so much like the one command style that I had Aqua using in Birth by Sleep sometimes. And as far as, like, the look of it, this one was probably my favorite. Oh geez, no. Well, yay for flow motion, I can just jump my way back up. But now, there's like more over here. Maybe I want to go down there eventually. Oh, I was supposed to ride that all the way over, wasn't I? Oh well. Hey, there we go. There we go. I mean, realistically, I could just slow motion my way up here.
Yeah.
Obtained mini. Okay, it does not go any higher than that. I'll be honest, I kind of like to really just abuse the toss attack for, like, however much I can. Oh, okay. Ow. Doggone it. These bats are being kind of annoying. Huh. So when they reappear, they don't necessarily, like, respawn with more health or anything like that. I feel like most other games in the series would have had their health return. Sir Kairu recipe. Okay. Thought I wasn't going to make that platform for a sec.
Pinocchio!
Jiminy!
Let him go now!
Okay.
Thank goodness. Are you all right? Riku and I looked for you everywhere.
Uh-huh, I'm just fine. Sorry, Jiminy. I messed up real bad. You and Father must have been so worried about me.
Why, Pinocchio? I think you just might be finally starting to learn.
Who are you? Me?
I'm me, he says. I'm sorry. I really just felt like...
Live and breathe.
That was my dark side. I gave in to the darkness once.
Or was it the replica?
It's chased me around in one form or another. The Seeker of Darkness who stole my body.
Would make the I'm me, he says, really appropriate.
And now, I'm facing me.
Your dark side?
Gee, Riku, don't you have a Jiminy like I do? He's my conscience. He's taught me all kinds of important stuff. Maybe you just need somebody to show you what's right and wrong.
Sure. You can't shoulder all your problems alone, you know. You must have somebody. A friend you can talk to?
Yeah. Actually, I do. That stupid grin he's always wearing. He's the best teacher I could ever have.
Gee whiz, I wish I had lots of good friends.
You will, Pinocchio. More than you can count.
What now? Is something in there? Pinocchio, Jiminy, you should head back. I'll see what's shaking things up.
Okay, this feels real similar to what was just happening with Sora in the, like, kind of trampoline area. Oh, hey, we get a Chronicle of Chain of Memories. So... is it the replica? Or are they just mentioning Chain of Memories here because of, you know, Riku's struggles with darkness being mentioned? I would like to save, please. Battle portal. Achieve victory without using Y commands. Ooh, this ought to be fun. And no reality shifts, because apparently those count as Y commands. I mean, yes, I have to press Y to do a reality shift. I just wasn't sure if it counted like that. Oh, geez, really? Yeah, maybe I should be doing more flow motion stuff. Oh, geez, down here too? Okay. Kablam. I win. With the extra challenge complete. Huzzah. Dulcet Fantasy and a Shield Cookie 2. I'm not gonna bother that thing just yet. Because I had a feeling it would do something weird like this. That's right, I can use Lycan moves now. Yeah, healing would be nice. So, I've been there before, apparently. Well, this just... Okay, this is a further extension of the current area. So this feels like maybe where I should go. Damn. Doggone it. Yeah, I imagine I don't want to go in the acid. And yet there's so much of it. Oh, geez, and there's a treasure right there, but it's upside down. This treasure, however, is facing normally. Okay. Oh. Now we got another one of these to hit, and it'll flip things back the other way. Ooh, treasure. Drop me not. Okay. Block it, chocolate too. Okay. Oh yeah, enemies. And they're ranged ones. Yes, everybody get in the bubble. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, the acid does exactly what I thought it would do. Come on, there we go. Okay. That's it for enemies for the moment. Now I go over here, get this chest, and it is a collision magnet. Okay. Alright, and now I guess I'm just gonna go through here. But before I do, I swap. Yeah. Swapping spirits. Oh, this looks like there's going to be a boss fight. Or not. Really? Come on, man. Let me do stuff. Oh, maybe once I hit that, there's gonna be the big boss fight.
Sorry.
Hey. Well, here we go, I guess. Oh. It changed the terrain. Interesting. So, now what? That seems like it's maybe kind of pointless going down there. Does going up lead me anywhere? Hiya. Ow. Hey, I blocked an attack. But I kind of didn't even know it was coming. Treasure. Water barrel. Heal, 'cause why not? Yes, relay shift. Get in the bubble. Bubbles! I think that's where I came from. Oh, and there's a save point right here. Yeah, this is almost definitely where I'm supposed to go. Okay. Well, here we go. This is a boss battle. A giant bug? Kind of scorpion looking thing? Feet. Char Clobster. What the? That's weird. What up with that? Some healing would be nice. Ow. I really should try to use slow motion a little more, I think. Ooh, reality shift. Let me over there so I can do the reality shift. Maybe. No. Never mind. Looks like that chance is gone. Ow. I was trying to find the thing that would let me flip this back upside down, but... Okay. Well, it looks like I'm eventually gonna have to sort of start that fight over. I don't need a wake-up block anymore. So we'll do, let's see here, defense gain, attack gain, drop decelerator, and affinity gain, I guess. Much as magic gain would be nice, I care more about the drop decelerator. And we're back to Sora.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Come on. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. Hey. Yeah.
This is going all kinds of oddly. I don't like it.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Ha. Yeah. Ha. Hey. Yeah. Take this. Oh. Come on.
Kaboom.
Oh. Come on. Yeah. 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 Back off. Yeah.
There we go. Bubble time. Big bubble time. Pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bubble burster.
Oh.
Perhaps
Yeah.
6 or more enemies in bubble burst.
Oh. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, that's done now. Gotta say, that's a bit more specific of an achievement that... Ooh, high jump. Anyway. It's a bit more specific of an achievement that doesn't just happen as you progress
You again?
through the story, necessarily.
Xemnas? This isn't possible.
My. A hollow puppet that's managed to grow a heart. Just imagine that.
Pinocchio isn't anything like you nobodies. But if Pinocchio could be given one, shouldn't you be able to have a heart inside you too?
Maybe so. However, do not forget that you yourself are not so very different from us.
How am I anything like a nobody? That doesn't make any sense.
Glossary, nobodies. Okay, Organization 13. And there's a Chronicle of Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean, that, sure. That just naturally makes sense. Because Xemnas came in, and that was where nobody's really... Although... Yeah, no, I didn't mention Organization 13 being nobodies in Chain of Memories, I don't think. Anyway. Okay. Yep. Another treasure. Nothing in there. Hello. Another treasure. Sure does seem to be a lot of treasure. Not that I'm complaining about that. Should I be trying to go up? And if so, maybe I want to do this first. Battle portal, defeat all the spirits. Achieve victory without using Y commands. I should have healed first, probably. Oh well. Comet. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. And that right there was all I needed. Got a vibrant fancy and a block of chocolate. Still could do with some healing. Anyway, now I'm gonna try to get up to the top of all this. Oh, hello. What the? Doggone it, I pressed B to jump, and it didn't let me jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good thing flow motion is so broken. Rampant fancy. Okay. No, doesn't seem like there's really anything else going on in here. So maybe I'm just supposed to go back out and then there will be more story progress. Since, you know, he asked Pinocchio and Jiminy to get out of here.
Yeah. Take this.
It got so big it wouldn't let me go any further. Double aim. Okay. And now I've lost all track of which way I'm going here. Nope, I just came from that way. Okay. So I'm moving left on the mini-map. And that opens up and I'm in here. And there are more enemies.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Oh. Come on. Hey. Heal.
Nope, I think that's where I came from.
Ha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this. Yeah. Ha. Ha.
Kaboom.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, got a bunch of stuff there. Oh, okay. Tell you what. They're almost ready to do a combo attack thing. Really? You know what? If I recall correctly, I got a magic bracer thing with Riku through ability links. And I bet you that kind of stuff is why. Because I keep getting interrupted. Having that obviously means I wouldn't.
Well, I hope they got home safe.
The Blue Fairy?
You must be Sora.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And you must be the Blue Fairy.
That's right. And I'm afraid that I have grave news. Good Geppetto went off to look for Pinocchio, and he was swallowed by a whale named Monstro.
What? Have you told Pinocchio and Jiminy about it yet?
Yes. And when I told them Geppetto was still alive inside the whale and at the bottom of the sea, those two little ones ran off at once. They're very determined to save him.
But that's crazy. I've got to find them.
Flashback. In search of Monstro.
This Monstro? I've heard of him, Pinocchio. He's a whale of a whale. Why, he swallows whole ships alive. And besides, it's dangerous. Why,
Goodbye, Jiminy.
Goodbye. I may be live bait down there, but I'm with you.
Just drops off the cliff. Okay, so we're not done in this world yet. For a second I thought maybe we were, and that was... But still, all this seems like it's a precursor to any of what happened with Riku. Really? Let me move! Kind of want to save the Meow Wounds move for, you know, whenever there happens to be the next boss battle thing.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Tossing these guys almost makes them too easy. Almost. There's actually a whole path down here. But nobody says it. Whoa. Okay. That wasn't what I thought was going to happen right then, but I'm not going to argue with it. Oh, it's you. Ribbity ribbit. I challenge thee. Ow. Slow motion, yeah. Ooh, reality shift. Heck yeah. Double in. Holy cow, this dude's got a ton of health. Am I supposed to focus mostly on that one so he doesn't get away? Or like, how do I do this? Okay, nope. He just eventually decides to leave. And that's it. Or maybe you only have a certain amount of time?
Take this! Yeah, hey! Ha! 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 Yeah! Ha! Wait! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Come on! Oh! Come on!
Not exactly what I meant to do, but I'll take it.
Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Oh! Fine! Oh! Yeah! Come on! Oh! Ha! Hey! Yeah!
Okay. Lamb Chop has leveled up to level 30, which I don't know how Lamb Chop leveled up.
Ha! Yeah!
I guess all the spirits get experience, even if they're not directly involved in whatever I'm doing at the moment. Water barrel. What is this? Special portal. Defeat all the spirits. Achieve victory in 20 seconds or less. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, jeez.
Yeah! Ha!
Bruh. Like, really?
Yeah! 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 Back off! Hey! Ha! Yeah! Ha!
Like, where's the one I need to find, though? Like, could I have just gone after that one and completed it? But I thought it said all the Dream Eaters. I don't know. Alright, well, whatever.
Heal.
Took care of the basics there, at least. I am underwater. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I am. Where I am? Chaos Snake. Blah, 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 blah. Nice. I can just, like, slide around and deal a bunch of damage like that. And how long does this last exactly? I guess that long. Whoa. Underwater is very floaty, which I guess shouldn't be surprising. Treasure.
Take this.
Why didn't that work? Why did the time bomb not work? I am confusion. Hang on a sec. I heard somebody coming downstairs. To this level. It could just be putting some food in the fridge or something. While I'm paused like this, though... Nope, not that. Yeah. We got fire, HP boost, fire boost, slow block. Not sure what that does. Magic haste. Magic boost. Fire screen. Fire boost. Man, lots of fire stuff. Although I guess it is a very fire-based spirit. Light screen. Not even sure what that does, but hey, defense boost. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, does that open now? No? Really? Okay, well. Item boost. And slow magic. And last but not least, from Lamb Chop, we've got sleep. And tell you what, let me get this magic boost. Then I'll go over here, get the magic haste, water screen, and secret. Secret route open. Oh, okay. That's quite a lot there. But I'm just gonna get the sleep block for now. Okay. That's enough of that. I think whoever it was went back upstairs. So I'm gonna unpause recording now and get back to the action. Actually. Okay, while I had the recording paused there, I did a bunch of ability link stuff. Just thought I'd let you know. No, I need to go down there.
Hey! Ha! Take this!
Down.
Ha! So long! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Ha! 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 Yeah! Yeah!
I think Drain Dive never seems to heal very much for Sora. I'm just saying. What is this? What is this? Do I write? Ah, I write it. Okay.
Yeah!
A little bit like the dolphin from Atlantica, I guess. Okay, and then it just returns back to where it was. And I can then write it again. Over this way. Can't tell if there's anything else down there I would want. And I guess up is where I eventually want to go. Like, directly up here. Save point. Yes, please. I will save my game. Treasure. Rampant Fancy. Does this get me anywhere? Seemingly not. Other than I can get up to this platform here, which doesn't seem to do much. So, I guess I'm going down. Aha! More treasure.
Light! Yeah! Hey! Ah! Back off! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Ha! Ha!
Really?
Yeah! Oh! Come on! Yeah! Ha! Oh! Come on! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Okay. And that's it for Sora's drop. 191, jeez. Okay, well. I could probably just get everything here. Yeah. Might as well. Swapping back over to Riku, who was in the middle of a boss battle. Right.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
What the? I don't remember that happening before.
Take this! Take this!
That attack in particular can be quite a problem. Alright, where's the thing that I can hit to flip this upside down? There we go. That missed somehow. Oh, that doesn't look good. Now, how might I attempt to get myself... Ah, okay. Then we'll do this. Flip it back around. I don't know why I was having such a hard time finding that in the previous attempt. Now. Hey, there we go. Okay. Victory. Now, is that going to be it for Riku in this world?
I thought I was only sent into the past, on the Destiny Islands. So why does it seem like time was rewound in this world too? Maybe it's like Master Yen Sid said. The world was freed from darkness, but is yet to wake from it.
Anyway, yeah.
It's trapped in a never-ending dream.
Okay, we got the keyhole showing up. That is usually an indicator that we're done with this world. Ocean's Rage. Keyblade that lands fewer critical hits but compensates with a boost in magic and more frequent reality shifts. Huh. Unlock Flick Rush Rainbow Cup. Okay. But how come I can't seem to go any further? Do I need to complete that world with Sora then, too? Maybe. Because, like, you could tell there are other worlds further back. But it's not letting me go there. Anyway, for now, I'm gonna save and I guess leave it at that. Maybe I'll drop back in as Sora to start things off in the next episode. But this one seems like it's at a pretty decent length and stopping point, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. At least for recording. However, I would like to double check ability links here. No, I gotta get that first. Duh. Okay, that is open. However, I do not have enough points to get Blizzara yet. Sleep block, okay. Oh, jeez. And that would be Blizzaga. I definitely don't have enough for Blizzaga. So we got water screen or bind block. I'm thinking I'll go water screen. And then that leaves everything available. Cure boost, HP boost, anyway. Do not have enough points for a combo plus right now. Defense boost would cost 100. I could get Circle Raid. HP boost. And attack haste. Those both sound nice. Yeah. Meanwhile, we got attack haste there. Or I could get confusing strike. But I think getting attack haste and zero gravity would be preferred. Checkpoint links. Spirit 2 more times. Oh. Okay. I have to link a certain number of times to get that. Okay. Training toys, just cuz. Holy cow, do I have a bunch of these. Well, okay, I wanted Rosebud to get that one. But whatever. Can I create any more spirits right now? Seemingly, yes. The question is, which ones and how many? Fin Fatale. Okay, some of them are just inherently higher ranks than others, which is interesting. Why not? And what command am I gonna use for this? So I could raise affinity level or HP, magic, and water resistance for whatever reason. Defense and magic. Magic and affinity level. Magic and thunder resistance. That makes sense because I'm using thunder there. HP and magic. Magic and blizzard resistance. Attack and magic. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, no. I'd rather just use up items this way. What should I call this spirit? Some sort of fish name, obviously. My brain immediately went to Finding Nemo, but this doesn't seem to have a very Nemo-like personality. I feel like it'd be more fitting to call this one Gil. Well, I don't know if Gil from Finding Nemo actually uses 1L or 2. But anyway. Whenever I switch back to Sora, maybe I'll, I guess creating the spirits doesn't really matter who I have active. Okay. I'll use 2 less of the Vibrant Fancy because that doesn't change the level or rank. And I have less of that than the Intrepid Figments. Doggone it, I keep wanting to say Fragments with those. Makes me think the Vibrant Fancies might be less common. So I'll keep more of the less common thing. Also, once I get done creating spirits here, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream. Might give myself a little time for editing and whatnot. Give your spirit a name. So, I mean, Po feels like the obvious reference here. Kung Fu Panda. Okay. So I've got Akuma Panda, Fin Fatale, Pricklemane, Heavy Rep, Tamasheep, Komori Bat, Meow Wow, and a Wee Flower. Cannot make a Sir Kairu. Now about to craft a Peepsta Who. Okay. I use 1 less Dulcet Figment. I have to use all 3 of the Wondrous Figments I have. Oh, dang. I just noticed I have way more Drop Me Knots than Yeah. Anyway. I have more drop me nuts than potions, so I should stop using potions. Use more of the drop me nuts. Now calling it owl or friend owl or whatever just seems too obvious. Is it Fox and the Hound where they have the one owl that goes by Big Mama? Nah, no. That was revert to default and I didn't realize it. Every single spirit name is going to be a reference of some sort. But anyway, I'm pretty sure there's some movie or another where they have an owl character called Big Mama. Okay, so I have recipes for Zoliphant. Is that R&R seal? When this siesta-loving juggle... Yeah, probably. Jestabaki. Katanuki. Tubguin Ace. And Wowflower. Oh, we got a Wee Flower and a Wowflower. Wee-wo, wee-wo. Okay. Using one less fleeting figment and one less grim figment. Because overall that doesn't make much difference. No change in rank or level. Alright. Now crafting an Escar Glow. And literally the only reference that comes to mind that's anything snail-like off the top of my head is, Turbo, I think it's called. You know, the one movie with the snail that winds up being able to go really fast. Okay. So, you know, I could, if I felt so inclined, try to craft something just of my own making. That's a new one. But so is that. Eh. You know what? Toximander. You know what? I think I might wait until the game is done, pretty much. See what all recipes I'm able to just get. And if there's anything that cannot be crafted by recipe, then I'll, you know, look into changing that. Oh, hey! So Riku can get the high jump even though Sora was the one who unlocked it. Interesting. Aerial slam, oh yeah. Knock a foe into the air, then slash it again as you rocket downward and launch even more foes with the resulting shockwave. Collision magnet. Pull in an enemy, then launch it toward other foes. Zara. Isuna. Mini. What all other... Oh, yeah. Ocean's Rage. Okay. 2 less attack with 3 more magic. So in terms of the overall stats, that one's slightly better. Even though I tend not to use magic as much. Plus, this one allows more frequent reality shifts. So, sure. Stock. Okay, that should pretty much be everything then. Abilities, right. Blizzard boost increases damage dealt by blizzard attacks, duh. Thunder boost, same thing but thunder. Water, cure boost, increases the amount of HP you recover with cure commands. Unlocked, okay. Increases the effectiveness of recovery items. Shortens reload time for all attack commands in your deck. Oh, that's what attack haste does. Okay. Magic haste shortens reload time for magic commands. Makes sense. Increases damage you deal with physical attacks. Increases damage from magic. Decreases damage you take from attacks. Increases your resistance to fire. Same with blizzard. Same with thunder. Same with water. Same with dark. Same with light. Jeez. There's a lot of block stuff. Anyway, fully protects you from mini status. From blind. From confusion. From bind. Poison. Slow. Yes, I apparently have to select each one in order to have it not be considered new anymore. Stop. Defender. Increases your defense when your HP falls below 25%. Combo plus. Adds 1 hit to ground combos. Second chance. Yeah, ensures you will always retain 1 HP after an attack that would otherwise finish you off unless you are already down to 1 HP. So I can choose to turn that on and off once it's fully unlocked, I guess. Right. Support boost. Causes effects of spirit support magic to last longer. Okay. Sure, spirits always retain 1 HP after attacks. So it's second chance, but for the spirits. Interesting. So many reports and mementos that I don't know if I even really want to... Okay, if I can just scroll through them like that, then sure. I'm tired of seeing all this stuff saying it's new. Reports. Oh. Maybe once I switch character, it'll be considered all done. Okay. Got all that. Glossary. I'm not even reading these. I'm just going through them for the sake of clearing them off of the list. Okay. Game records. Link attacks. Sora. Link styles with Riku. Reality shifts. Flow motion. Dive mode with Sora. Dive mode with Riku. Minigames. Candy goggles. 470. Link portals. 23 victories. 10 friendship portals used. Characters. Oh, jeez. Switch model. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna scroll through like this to try and clear them off the list. Okay. Esmeralda, yeah. Don't ask me why I got the notion to do all this now, but yeah. So this is like the log of the enemy Dream Eaters. Yogi Ram? Komori Bat, Prickle Mane, Heavy Rep. Switch. Oh, okay. So it could show this spirit, like the friendly spirit version, if you switch the model. Huh. Ice Queen Ace. Peepsta Who. Escar Glow. KO Kabuto. Weeflower. Ghost Abaki. Zolifant. Juggle Pup. Flauber Meow? Okay. Sorry. It's fast, it's floral, and unlike Meow Wow, fire won't phase it. Really? You would think being floral, that fire would have a significant effect on it. Cyberyog. Chef Kairu. Wowflower. Giastabaki. Eaglider. Comantis. Charclobster. Hawko Monkey. Wargoyle. Brawlamari. Queen Buzzerfly. And then we're back to the top. Okay. Treasures. Oh, jeez. I am missing so many of these. Trophy shelf. Ooh. Proof you have amassed 5,000 money. See, at least here it'll give you the description of it, even when you haven't unlocked it yet. Proof you defeated 50 enemies using reality shift. Okay. Okay, that's enough of all that. I'm gonna save again. And he thinks that'll do. Just don't know why it won't seem to let me go back to the start screen, essentially. Almost like it just assumes you'll turn it off at some point. Kind of not designed for quick resume like Xbox has. Anyway. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it from me for today's stream. I have stuff I need to edit, and I believe my little sister's home might be spending a little more time visiting. So yeah, anyway. Don't really have much else for you. Whoa. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, move stuff around. Next week, I'm not 100% sure how that all is going to go. I'm hoping I will be able to still record some things. I mean, with as early as I get up to do this on Saturday mornings, I don't think there will be too much planned that early in the day. But anyway, keep your eyes posted on my social media stuff to see when I might make any adjustments to my usual plans. But otherwise, that's officially going to do it for me today. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another stream. But yeah. Whatever ends up happening, till next time, stay cool, everybody.